Hi everybody, welcome to my July WIP update video. I hope you've had a great stitchy month. I hope you're all doing well and healthy. This month I have to show you 3 finishes, 3 new starts, and I would like to talk about a Flosstube date that I had. Alright, so I want to try and get this video done as quickly as possible tonight because this is my stitching night and I want to get stuck into my stitching. So let's get started. So first up on the ranks is Up on the Rooftop by Tilton Crafts, otherwise known as Christmas House 1 by Artecy, and I'll include the picture of last month's progress. So this is done on 18 count white aida, 2/1 diagonal stitching. So last month you would have seen that I finished Santa, which was really exciting. It was nice to get him done. So this month I actually started, please excuse all my threads, I started on Santa's sleigh, which I'm really excited about. So as you can see, it's a confetti heavy area, lots of different colours making up Santa's sleigh. But I still love this design so much and I'm really excited to get stuck into stitching it again tonight. So for the month of July, I stitched 4 days on this one and a total of 2,071 stitches, which is pretty good. I'm very happy with that. And it's progressing really quickly. So I'm trying something new tonight. I've set up my magnifying lamp and light over there. So it's providing like a ring light because I'm filming this at night time and the lighting in this room isn't good. So hopefully you can see everything a bit clearer than normal. So we'll see how it goes. All right, next one, referring to my notes as I always do, is okay, Signs of Christmas frame, which I've just realized I haven't got out. Okay, I'm back. That was very disorganized for me. I forgot to get this one out to show you. So last month I finished the Farm Fresh trees. This one is done on 32 count Belfast, opalescent Belfast linen, 2/2 with Weeks Dye Works, all Weeks Dye Works threads except the white, which is DMC B5200. So this is where I'm up to now. So this month the focus was on North Pole Gingerbread Bakery. Isn't that cute? The little gingerbread men. So much fun to stitch. Really love this design. I like the colours. You can see the sparkle in my fabric. It doesn't show up well on photos, but luckily on video, actually, maybe with this ring light, it's showing up a little bit better than it did last month. So that's good. So to do this particular square this month took me 4 days and total of 1,460 stitches, which included the border there as well. So I'm really looking forward to progressing along with this one again this month. I can't remember which one it is, but I put up a pic so you'll see it before I do. Okay, it's number 2. Number 3 is my Fairy Whispers by Lisa Parker, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. So I'll put up last month's progress picture. This is on 18 count white aida, 2/1 diagonal stitching. Now you won't notice, I've got to put it up the right way. You won't notice a lot of progress. There is cotton going everywhere. This one is just such slow going, but you can see it here in full. And if I get up a bit closer, and you can see the back of my work. Doesn't that look lovely? So yeah, this is just taking forever. I'm only getting an average of like 200 or 250 stitches done in a night because there's just so many color changes. If I haven't mentioned it before, I have been asked by a couple of people that are interested in my method. So when the confetti is this heavy, I tend not to work in a 10 by 10 grid. I work in a 10 across by 20 down grid. That just saves having to rethread the needle so many times. But the one thing with doing that is I have to be super careful with my counting because I don't grid. I'm too impatient for gridding. Because if you put a stitch in the wrong place, you probably won't realize it until you've done several colors later, and you don't want to be unpicking part threads because it's just a nightmare to unpick. I have done it once and never again. So yeah, super careful, but it helps me go along a little bit quicker working 10 across 20 down. But I have promised to do a video, and I will. I just finding the time at the moment is just a little bit hard. So yeah, I did 4 days on this one in July for a total of 1,093 stitches. So it's not too bad for this confetti heavy area, but I'm just not seeing it move along as quickly as I'd like. It'd be wonderful just to stitch this every day, but then I've got all these other wonderful projects too, so I'm sharing the love at the moment. All right, so just move that out of the way. I've been a bit, not sick, but I had a cold this month, so I've been a bit with my throat, so please excuse me if I make any annoying noises. Okay, and next one I'll put up all my pictures here is Fairy Garden Collection by Shannon Christine Designs, stitched on 28 count Waterlily Jobelan, 2/2 DMC, but I changed out the Chronic for Petite Treasure braid, and this is still on the frame because I just finished stitching last night. So this is all I can show you right now. But I started and finished Shoe House. And there it is there. And for those of you that don't know, there is beading to go on afterwards. So like, for example, around these circles will all be beads. And then around the arch window will be beads. So it will look much better once that's done, but I don't want to do that until all my cross stitching is complete because I like to have my tension tight and I can't do that when I'm beading. So beading will be done later. I am considering making this a focus piece because I want to start a new mirabilia. I want to have one finished before I go away I just realized my head's cut off, but sorry. Before I go away in February, I've only got one unframed mirabilia to take with me, and I'd really like to have another one. So I've been looking at all my charts and then looking at some online, and I think I've decided on one. I don't want to mention it yet because I am notorious for changing my mind. So I will let you know all about it once I've decided and ordered it and kitted it up and all the rest of it. I might even get a couple, we'll see, but I figured this one, the way I'm going, will still have 2 months left to work on it, and I can't finish the Christmas one earlier because the charts get released each month, so I can't finish that earlier even if I wanted to. And my other two are big projects which definitely won't get finished, so that just means this would be the only one that I can finish early and then have the mirabilia as a new rotation. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. Okay, next we've got onto my travel projects. I realize I keep cutting off my head because I'm not sitting back in my chair, so I'm sorry about that. So I have a finish. So this is my, I'll put up the details here. This is the Witch by Ekaterina. I need to bring my notes a bit closer. Ekaterina Chaykovskaya, which I've probably really hacked, so I'm really sorry. This is my first ever Halloween piece, so I was really excited to do this. But she's finished number 10 for this year, and here she is. Please excuse the fact that I haven't even pressed her yet. I know that's terrible. I haven't decided whether I'm going to wash this because this is a hand-dyed piece. So I think I need to maybe test a small section of it before I put it in water and ruin the whole thing. So I'll show you up close. Let me just move this out the way. So the back stitching really made this piece. She looked pretty plain and boring without the back stitching, but that wasn't without a bit of a nightmare. So I want to show you something. This is the list of, this is the key. So the back stitching colours, there are 3 colours that look like red. Now, obviously one was in white, so that was easy for me to determine on the pattern what was going to be white. And the others were brown and grey. Black and grey. That was really hard. And at one stage, I even brought my son in, who does a lot of drawing, works with a lot of colours. And I said to him, can you tell the difference between these? And we struggled a little bit, but I figured it out in the design. And then I realised there was the same problem with the 413, the grey, and the brown, the 801. They look really similar. And although they do look slightly different here on the chart, when you've got all the symbols around, yeah, it gave me a bit of a headache. But I figured it out in the end, and we got there. But I was just like, all the colours in the rainbow, why choose similar colours? Could have made one yellow, could have made one green. I don't know. I don't design, so I don't know. But it would have been nicer if it had been a little bit easier. So anyway, she's now done. Very, very happy with her. I'm actually going to purchase another one from this designer, even though the back stitching gave me nightmares. See, it was that much fun to do. I'm still going to buy another one. And I'm thinking about turning this into a pillow. What do you think? What do you guys reckon I should turn this into? I don't know. It would look nice framed, but a pillow would be nice too. Love that little cat. He's so cute. These whiskers. Yeah. Okay. So I need to test that, as I said, before I give it a wash. All right. Now that was my travel project. And the only reason I got her finished, I forgot to say, that was done in a total of 18 days and 6,013 stitches. And the only reason I got that done so quick was because I've been using that as my weekend project. I haven't been doing Sleigh Ride at Dusk, my Christmas stocking, unfortunately. I focused on wanting to get this one finished. So had I still been using it as a travel project, it would be a long way off getting finished. All right, next is my new start, which is now my new travel project and a much better size for a travel project. I said from the beginning the witch was a bit too big. But you don't realise these things sometimes until you start them. So my new start is Country Cottage Needleworks Seasonal Celebrations Spring. And I bought the buttons, which is a butterfly and a little caterpillar. Doesn't that look cute? So for those of you that have been following me for a while may remember that back in 2016, I actually finished the other 3 seasons. So I'll show you them now. I've got summer. Oh, go back a little bit. These are all done on the same fabric, which is 32 count latte Belfast linen. There's winter. I really like winter. I like all of these, but I like winter. Excuse my fraying edges. Normally I overlock them, but for some reason I didn't bother. I think because it was a quick stitch. I knew it didn't really matter too much. And this one is autumn. So I've got one dilemma with all these. And being as these were done back in 2016, they have my old signature on them. So I'm in 2 minds to frog that and change it with my new signature. But I also want to remember that they were done in 2016. So I don't know. What would you guys do? Shall I leave it? Obviously the one I'm doing now will have my new signature, my new surname, and this year. So I guess it will be different from them anyway. So I think I'll probably just leave everything as it is. I forgot to mention that this design, oh, where is it? Here it is here. Sorry, just show you. This is how much I've done. Very, very small amount. That will be bunnies. And it's DMC and Gentle Arts sampler threads, which is actually that green called spring grass. So that's really lovely. All right. I think I've gone through all that in record time. 17 minutes. Woohoo! Do you know, last month the video was so long, when I went to upload it, there was no room left on my phone and I had a lot of problems. So to avoid having that issue happen again, I've just deleted about 2 years worth of photos on my phone to save some space. I have already got them saved on the computer, but you know, just anyway. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was my Flosstube date. So you might remember that I mentioned last month that I was going to be catching up with Nancy, who is the Bohemian Stitchery. Yes, Bohemian Stitchery. And she also lives in Adelaide and she's a floss tuber. And we got together and we had brunch at Argo's at Norwood. And we had a wonderful time. I think it was a 3-hour brunch. We just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked about anything and everything, not just stitching. We had a lot in common. It was just she's such a lovely, down-to-earth lady. And I'm so glad I got to meet Nancy. I think we're going to be very good friends and we're going to have lots more catch-ups before we meet again in Brisbane for our trip, Mirabilia trip. So I think our next catch-up might actually be a stitching catch-up. So I get to see her stitching, she gets to see my stitching, and we'll go from there. But honestly, that catch-up was the highlight of my month, and it was just so wonderful to talk with someone that shares the same passion. And I know that's why we do Flosstube, because we like talking about it and you like listening to it, but meeting someone in person is another level again. And I feel so privileged to have met Nancy and to have made a new friend. So if you're watching, Nancy, thank you again for the lovely catch-up, and I can't wait to do it again. So having said that, I'm going to leave you all there, and I want to get to my stitching tonight. So I'll upload this as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers, old and new. Thank you for all your support. Really, really, really appreciate it. And I will talk to you again next month, if not before. Okay, bye for now.